Hello, everyone. This is Angelo Robles, where we last left off in effectively the PowerPoint on the masterclass of creating a virtual family office, which again, as a reminder, is a multi-day true masterclass. It's much more immersive than a couple of minutes in a video. This is a little bit of whetting the appetite. So where I left off was now on the next screen. This will be part of a three-part series. I'm assuming you already saw a couple of minutes for part one. This is the middle, and then we'll wrap up with a part three. And would love to work with you more one-on-one, or perhaps more significantly in our upcoming masterclass series for our members to really understand and value and hopefully incorporate some of the principles, even if you're not traditionally doing a virtual single family office. Especially in today's world, but every single family office has some level, or should, of virtual capabilities, from remote workforce to more outsourcing to better utilizing technology to be more effective or efficient. But back to the core content of part two. So as you can see in the current screen, a virtual SFO is not a compromise on results. There are some that perceive, well, it's a lesser SFO, meaning single family office. I have lesser employees, because you may not need more employees. You need your SFO to be great at what you need them to be great at, which can't be everything. Identify the goals that are most important to you and then build internally, or if you elect to outsource that, you got to align that in terms of what's going to be most important for you. The SFO can't be the best at everything. There are some outside providers and services that are simply better at specific tasks than you would be. And it may be better to manage the creative thinking, manage the goals, manage the service of the relationship, but choose the best execution partners. That doesn't mean, it does mean you're probably potentially doing less with more. It doesn't make it a lesser family office. It makes it more digital and modern to have a virtual family office, which again, every SFO should be incorporating some elements of. How do you decide to outsource a task? Well, as I mentioned in looking at the PowerPoint, can we do this internally? Can we do this excellently? Can we do this cost effectively? And will this distract us from more important goals? These are all questions that you need to think through and ask. Again, you don't need to do everything internally, and you probably don't have the resources to do it great to begin with. The essential elements of a virtual single family office. Well, talent. Just because you may have less or do more with less, it puts more of a burden per se, and hopefully you're paying them correctly, a different subject in compensation, but you still need top talent. You got to have the right leadership. You need the right culture and the right process to get to your outcomes. And this is driven mainly by incredible people that are wonderful leaders, self-sufficient, self-reliant, and talented at what they do, yet also work good within the confines of a team. Sometimes a whole group of egotistical A players doesn't necessarily play well in the confines of even a virtual single family office. As I noted, the most important talent is strong leadership. Hire strategically and place employees in a position to excel. Now that also brings up the subject again. You probably want to use someone with HR experience and compensation. You want to make sure your people are getting paid very fairly. But how do you recruit and how do you retain this top talent, especially one that may be more dispersed, more remote? And again, what things could be insourced or what items could be outsourced. And yes, there are creative hires along the lines of healthcare, of cybersecurity, that is starting to make its way more so into the family office world, even talented techies and technologists and data, looking at reams of data to helping them make some investment in other decisions. So we are starting to see families think a little more creatively and out of the box. A virtual single-family office succeeds because they identify the biggest problems and deploy the assets to solve those problems one by one in a set goal and a set timeline. Again, I wish I could spend more time, but I think you get the gist of it. Creating focus for success. Success in a virtual family office requires the internal team to understand the compartments of service, create adaptive solutions, and bring various parts together to make one virtual single family office that moves forward, again, with a laser focus. Resources are certainly needed, external talent and resources as well as internal. If you're looking to do this on the cheap and not bring in the proper talent and not give them the potential to be greatly successful at what they do, the resources, then don't have any sort of single family office to begin with. I guess it's not for you, and that's fine. There may be wonderful MFOs, banks, and others that could do it. But if you want to do it right, you got to be willing to put the capital behind it. And by the way, the banks and others that you may be using, and they're absolutely needed, even if you have the buffer of the SFO, it's not like they're working for free. So there is a cost relative to what you're doing. We speak a little bit about the challenges, and this is a quote from a book from Lee Kravitz. If I hire someone, I got to train them, manage them, fire them. I got to worry about them getting sick, their parents getting sick, their kids, their dog getting sick. People want to know where they stand to get a performance review at the end of the year, an eventual promotion. I have to work out health benefits, severance, vacation schedules. It goes on and on. In other words, the gist of it is having reams or lots of employees could be very taxing. Do you really want to be a manager of managers? Do you really need to bring everything internal? And there's challenges with having employees. You may be better off keeping it very lean and mean as an operation for some of the reasons that were just noted. You got leadership, creativity, and vision, family communication, and anything that we can do excellently internally, and why should we, are things that perhaps should be done internally by the family office, as noted. External resources could be on risk and security, on specialization, probably legal and accounting are among the most common, but investment managers, aviation specialists, it could be lots of different ways. I am actually going to stop there. So we're looking at the technology screen, and that's what we're going to wrap up in part 3 of the series, effectively on creating a virtual family office. Everyone, I'm Angelo Robles, founder and CEO at Family Office Association. You can reach me at angelo@familyofficeassociation.com. And as I noted in the first one, this is my copyright. It's my baby in terms of what I do. So I am a little bit protective of it, my proprietary content, and I hope you understand. Feel free to reach out. Thank you very much, everyone.